Well, here we are back on this Epiphone, and we're putting a bone saddle in. If you've seen my video from Nut Blanks from Bone, this is a piece of that. Conventionally, you put the radius into the saddle before you put the strings on it and start messing about. But, you know, we've got an order of videos to do, so we're kind of out of order, which isn't really going to hurt us that much. And to figure out the radius, I just got a piece of paper and a pencil here, and we're just going to measure the individual string heights and figure out where we want them. About 6/64 at the 12th fret. So we'll start measuring and see what we get, and we know how far to bring them down. We've got our bone blank out, and I put a big little black mark on the treble side that faces toward the neck, so I keep the orientation right. So I've got to take off 2/64 of action on E, which means I got to move it down 2/32. Get that marked right at where the string was. And where's the A string go? Right there. It's got to come down 1/32. And we'll just sand it down to where the radius is. We've got a nice radius put in there to match the fretboard. And there's our mark on the front treble side. So we'll just get there, and we're going to have to mark our string slots again when we get there. So we'll make a mark on either side of it. Did I say high? I meant low, obviously. And the high E string. Come on, guy. Put it in the slot. And it wants to live right about there. Side of it. I've got a string spacing sheet that will, I think it's already folded in the right spot. This is the base side. I'll line up those marks. Oh, it's not in the right spot. What I've got to do is line up the lines, and there's fancier rollers you can get for this that I don't have. On the line, not quite on the line. This just takes a little bit more fiddling, that's all. Pretty good there. And we'll work out the rest of our lines. From there, from So now I'm just going to take a triangular needle file and just put a small little bit in there where the line goes. Just to hold the string, just enough to hold the string in place. Just on the back of it. Push that down right at the front of the saddle. This is really hard. A little flat. Okay. And we'll fret the 12th. Okay, I'm having trouble with this. It's a coordination thing. Okay, I think I can get that. Get our piece of paper. Mark down our string names. E, A, D, G, B, and E. So open and 12th. We'll make 2 columns. So open, we're at +2 cents. And at the 12th fret, oh, I better do this. Better do it there. Where's my ruler? Push that right down on the front. Yeah, +2. And the 12th fret. It's +8. Our A. -1. +8. Well, after a long time and several measurements and my fingers and wrists cramping up, we finally got some numbers. Now, from my last video on intonation theory, we know that we have to move 0.38 millimeters per cent that we're out. And we've got all of our numbers. Now, obviously, we're not going to get like 0.04 of a millimeter on here, but we're going to get close. So, we've got our saddle in a little vise. And there's the black mark right here. So we know that's the high E string facing toward the neck. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. So the high E string has to move. Better get my eyes again. So the high E string has to move 1.14 millimeters. So we'll get that on there and make a mark. And then go to the B string, which has to go 3.8, just a triangular file. And I put little marks halfway in between my string lines. Try the high E string here. I'm going to bring that back to the line. Now we'll work on our B string. Got some 600 grit sandpaper here and just cleaning it up a little bit. Well, after lots of figuring, some dead reckoning, and some artistic license, we've got a saddle finally cut for this thing. We've got it all cleaned up, and the frets are polished up a little bit, and the fretboard is oiled, and finally, after a long time, it's ready to go home. But it worked out pretty well. I hope the guy's happy with it. All tuned up and ready to go. I just got to clip the strings off of it. And it's pretty much intoned the way you'd expect. Of course, now the work on it, it's probably worth more than the guitar. The action seems pretty nice on it. random chords. That seems to work out alright. Thanks for joining me on my journey. It was an interesting educational experience for me.